Salute to everybody coming in. Salute to everybody coming in. My dog, you know what I'm saying? The sweet science examiner, my boy Tank, man, in the building, man. Shout out and RIP to Marvin Hagler, man, one of the greatest middleweights of all time. He recently passed, and I just want to give him a shout out. Want to leave the picture up for a second as we all come in and we chop it up and we talk. Um, want to just give him his just due. Shout out to my dog DJ. Salute to you, my brother. Taylor Bell. Salute to you, my brother. Appreciate y'all sliding through here, man, on a late night. We're gonna talk a little bit about the Devin Haney situation. Recently, Mauricio Suleiman came out and said that they asked for it. I want to get y'all opinions on that. Hopefully, H Money slides through here, man, so I can get the answers that we need. J.A. Dixon, salute to you, my brother. Always coming through, showing love, man. Once I get this other phone, man, I'm gonna start mentioning everybody up and things like that. Yeah, man, we had a great week, man. Great weekend in boxing, man. It was whew, man. Boxing was in a great place, man. I mean, man. Man, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, man. Taylor Bell, appreciate you, my brother. All right, man. So look, we're gonna get in. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it, man. We live from the boxing section, man. We back at it once again in its own. You feel me? Dave the Real, Thomas, salute to you, my brother. So this weekend, man, was a great weekend in boxing. This is the weekend in boxing that we all deserve, that we all should have enjoyed. I mean, we had some of the best fights that can go on, man. I mean, the Estrada Chocolatito, man, they threw 100 million punches. The David Benavidez fight ended in a stoppage. I mean, this weekend in boxing, man, was absolutely amazing. Mir, my brother from the hometown, you feel me? Give it up to my dog Mir, man. Always coming through, showing love, man. Appreciate you for sliding through. But great, man. It was a great man. Terrell Gausha put on a show. You know what I'm saying? Off his bounce back loss from Erickson Lubin. So he came back, man, with a vengeance, man, and put dude away. So it was great, man. Only thing I didn't like, man, the judges in their decision making. I felt like the judges on the zone side got it wrong a lot. I felt like Chocolatito did enough to win that fight. That one scorecard was just ridiculous. I mean, 117 to 111. That was terrible. I mean, if you're watching that fight, it could go either way. If you give somebody a round or this guy a round, okay, I understand that. I thought Chocolatito won, but 117 to 111 for either guy was some BS. You know what I'm saying? Because them dudes fought their heart out, and for somebody to just come out with that BS can we put these comments up, man. I be moving too fast sometimes. Dog, for them to pour that stunt on that man, I'm glad that dude was suspended. For calling fights, for judging fights, because that was some real BS. You know what I'm saying? They really cost that man a championship at his old age, man. He's old and he's older in the game. So now in a rematch, he's gonna be 1 year older or some months old. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, damn, man, I just fought my heart out, and you're gonna say 117 to 111? Come on, man. No round was even like, if you go round for round, the rounds were so close that either guy could have got it. But but the last round clearly was Chocolatito's. He had the last 2 rounds easy. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know what they was looking for, man. I really don't understand what the judges was looking for in that fight. The Raymond Ford fight was some that was some BS too. I had Raymond Ford winning that fight, no question about it. I mean, he outboxed the man. All the dude did was try to rough him up. Dude gassed out. You know what I'm saying? In the later part of the fight, and I don't understand how they could give that decision to that guy. I think Raymond Ford did enough to win that fight. So then let's talk about the Ammo Williams fight, man. Ammo Williams is an up-and-coming fighter, trying to make a name for himself. I enjoyed his fight. A lot of my boxing friends, they say he got a lot of holes in his game and he's not that good. But shit, from what I seen yesterday, it was very, very entertaining. I know he has some work to do. We all got work to do. But I think that if he didn't do the shoe shine, like the Oscar De La Hoya, throw a lot of punches in a row so the fight can be stopped. I think if he would have just settled down, threw a couple of hooks, stepped back, you know what I'm saying, did a jab, a few uppercuts, he could have got the man out the way. But the shoe shining is what allowed him to be held. So I think if he wasn't able to be, he didn't get held, then it would have been a knockout. But that's just something that he has to learn and get through. Oh man, my boy JB just entered the chat. Salute to my dog JB, man. Always coming through and always showing love, man. Appreciate you for coming through. And like I always say, man, if you want to join the panel, the link is in the chat. If you want to join the panel, the link is in the chat. But yeah, man, I enjoyed that night of boxing, man. I mean, I can't lie to you, man. And let's just talk about David Benavidez. Just a monster. I mean, now everybody's talking about him versus Charlo. That's cool and everything, but I want to see him, Edgar Berlanga. I want to see them two monsters collide. You know what I'm saying? I want to see the two juggernauts go at it. I want to see Incredible Hulk versus Thanos. Like, that's what I'm trying. That's what I want to see. Box fans, salute to my brother. Salute to you for always coming through and always showing love, man. Rob G, salute to you, my brother. My boy, my dog, Sir Reggie Owens. Boxing Conversation with Reggie Owens. What's up, my brother? Appreciate you for coming through like you always do. Listen, that would be a great fight. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section. Edgar Berlanga versus David Benavidez. I think that is the fight to make. Charlo, he on the fence whether he wants to go to 168 or he want to be 160. But that Edgar Berlanga versus David Benavidez, because they fighting like right after each other. You know what I'm saying? So David Benavidez just fought. Edgar Berlanga fights April 24th, I believe, if I'm not wrong. April 24th. So they got time to both be in camp at the same time and get ready for the fight at the same time. They both can be ready by September or December. I'm looking for that fight to happen. I know it's not going to happen. I get it. But y'all tell me what y'all think about the fight. Not if it's going to happen or not, but if it's going to happen, if y'all would like that fight to happen. Deuce Time, salute to my brother for coming through, man. I'm not sure how he passed. I'm not really sure. A lot of people saying it was the vaccine, but I'm not too sure. I just know that it's a great loss. A legend was lost. Yeah, Bob Arum not gonna let that fight happen. Shit, man, my bad, y'all. I be missing these comments, man. My fault, y'all. I be getting so excited about the possibilities. You know, that's one thing about boxing, man. Salute to Boxing Sparring. Salute to you, my brother, for coming through and showing some love, man. He says Berlanga ain't ready, brother. His own promoter peeps said it themselves. Yeah, man, but I mean that's just a fight, but that'd be entertaining though. Two heavy hitters like that, man, that'd be amazing, man. That's the one thing about boxing that keeps us so interested, man. It's like the possibilities are endless. You know what I'm saying? You can match so many fights. You know what I'm saying? Although they're never gonna happen, you can match so many fights to where it's like, you can match so many fights where it's like, okay, this guy versus this guy. Okay, he ducking him, he doing that, he ducking him. He can fight, so he can fight that guy, he can fight that guy. So it's always something. It's always something that's always working, man. And dude, boxing I got me excited again, man. You know what I'm saying? Boxing do that to you. See, that's the thing about boxing. You know, it's like I'm telling you, it's like you're in a bad relationship. You know what I'm saying? The girl say she gonna treat you right, she gonna do you right, and then she cheat on you again. You know what I'm saying? This is the time where you took her back and everything is good. So you know in a couple months she gonna fuck you over. You know what I'm saying? It's like being in an abusive relationship. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna hit you. I ain't gonna hit you no more. I promise. I'm not gonna do it no more. And then, you know what I'm saying? So I'm excited, man. My nigga say these nuts 7400. Oh my god. So salute to you, my brother. Salute to you, man. Yeah, man. So I'm excited, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. Boxing is getting me excited. You know what I'm saying? David Benavidez, that's man. I'm ready. I want to see him versus Canelo. You know what I'm saying? I want to see how that fight is gonna play out. Um, y'all let me know what y'all think about Canelo versus David Benavidez. I don't think that fight's gonna happen either, but just the thought of it happening, it seems cool to me. Also, if you want to join the panel, feel free. I'm putting the link in the chat one more time. So if you want to come in, just come on and slide through, man. And we're gonna talk, chill, the whole nine. Now, so great weekend in boxing. The only thing that kind of messed up the weekend was the great Marvin Hagler passing away. I mean, just a great fighter, man. I mean, let's just talk. We could talk about like fantasy fights with Marvin Hagler for a while, and then we'll jump into other things. I hear, bro. Berlanga versus Benavidez is a dream matchup for sure. For sure. Hey, boxing sparring, yeah, for sure. I'm not gonna lie, man. That's probably the best fight right now. The two juggernauts going at it. You know what I'm saying? I would say Berlanga versus Steven Nelson, but unfortunately, my homeboy, man, my dog, my ace. You know what I'm saying? My road dog. He got hurt in sparring, so he's gonna be out of commission for a while, man. I hope nothing but speedy recoveries to you, my brother. Like always, man, you know you're my dog, man. I would not have uh, a podcast if it wasn't for you. I wouldn't have the interviews that I have when I first got started. If it wasn't for you, you put me in a position to be great, and I appreciate you, my brother. Yeah, man. But speedy recovery to my boy Steven Nelson, man. So cold, man. That's my man, 100 grand. Yeah, but also I want to see Caleb Plant versus Charlo. You know what I'm saying? I want to see that fight. See everybody on that Charlo Benavidez. I want to see Charlo versus Caleb Plant. I want to see the battle of the jabs. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to see. I want to see them two go at it. I think that'd be a hell of a fight, bro. He said doo-doo fights. Come on, man. Come on, man. Show that man some love, dog. Listen, Demetrius Andrade was ducked by Canelo. We can give him that much credit. And he went to the zone where all the 160 pounders are. So we can't say that, you know, he's doo-doo. You know what I'm saying? We can't say that. We can't say that. Yeah, Rob G, man, my boy got hurt, man. And man, he was on his way, man, because he was gonna be fighting for a title eliminator. YV, salute to you, my brother. Appreciate you for sliding through, coming through here, man. And showing some love like you always do. Appreciate you, my brother. Listen, man. Oh, and also, don't forget the t-shirt giveaway, man. If you want to get into it, all you gotta do is just put in the chat about Boots, Jerron Boots Ennis versus Sergey Lipinets. You can if you whoever's the closest to the fight being predicted, we got a t-shirt for you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so that's the facts. But I think if Demetrius Andrade would get one of these fights, because he's in the right spot. Like a lot of people say, oh, Crawford, he on the wrong side of the street. He can't get these fights. He can't get these big fights. Demetrius Andre went to the right side of the street. You know what I'm saying? To get the major fights. So it's not like he was just over on the PBC or he over on Top Rank where no 160 pounders are. He went straight into the belly of the beast. You know what I'm saying? He went straight to the 160 pounders to get these fights. And unfortunately, people are still able to duck and hide and move on. I got two people sliding through, man. I got my boy DJ sliding through, and also I got my dog Reggie Owens. D Jones, what's happening, baby?
What's going on, man? What's going on? That wasn't no disrespect, man. Ain't that his name, Doodoo? Ain't that his name, Doodoo?
Come on, man. Come on.
Doodoo, boo boo, same shit.
Oh, man. You know.
I'm gonna tell you this, man, and this is the way I feel about this. He had a chance to kill. Sorry, I'm sitting in the car right now.
Man, listen,
he had a chance. He had a chance to kill Canelo's dream of becoming undisputed at 168. He didn't do. As the WBO champion.
Hold on. You said at 168? How at 168?
As the champion at 160, if he moved up to 168, wouldn't he automatically become the mandatory for the WBO?
Yeah, but I mean, yes, but at the same time, you still got to think though. He's still at 160. So it's like this. At 160, Canelo was supposed to fight him at 160, not at 168. He ain't at 168.
Yeah, I got you on that. I understand he ducked Charlo and he ducked Andre at 160. I get that. But if you really want that fight, go get him.
But it's hard to say go get him, right? When you went to the right place to get him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? You went to the exact now. See, Charlo, like him complaining about the Caleb Plant. I mean, about the Canelo Alvarez fight and the Triple G fight. That's the same boat as Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? If you upset that you're not getting these fights, but you didn't put yourself in a position to get those fights. You know what I'm saying? Demetrius Andre put himself in position to get the fights. He went over there to the zone to get that money to fight those guys. So I can't really be mad at Demetrius Andre. So I can't call him boo-boo because he's not getting the fights. It's more or less those dudes are saying he's a low risk, he's a high risk, low reward, and they're not gonna get the credit they deserve for him. Or they saying like they lose to him, they gotta get all the way to the back of the line. So they're like, let's avoid him at all costs. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with we could say with Gary Russell Jr. But
but see, you can also move up. He could have moved up and fought Billy Joe Saunders. That would have been a big fight for him. They on the same side of the street, yes.
Yeah, I mean, but Billy Joe would probably did some nasal spray. You know what I'm saying? and it messed him over. Yeah, but listen. He could have went to 168, right? He could have, right?
That's why I'm asking. Why didn't he? If you're like at some point you got to ask what's your goal here. If your goal is to get the Canelo fight, you see he's not going to fight you at 160. Just like Charlo, you should see now that Canelo's not going to fight you at 160. You got to go where he's at. I mean, he's talking about.
Ain't no guarantee that he's gonna fight him at 168.
I got you.
Listen.
Well, if he would have got that belt before he decided to fight Billy Joe Saunders, all Demetrius Andre had to do was go up and fight Billy Joe Saunders for that belt. And Canelo would have had to come see him.
No, he wouldn't have, because he could have went to 175 again. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're right. But see, and then that'll be more on Canelo for ducking.
It's been on.
See, a lot of people.
But nobody, listen, this is the thing about it. Nobody says anything though, because Canelo is the cash cow or whatever the hell. You know what I'm saying? But that's the problem that I have with these people, dog. It's like now he can fight mandatories, right? But at 160, he couldn't fight mandatories. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
168, he can be undisputed. But at 160, he didn't have to be undisputed. You know what I'm saying? They keep saying like,
Yeah.
oh, Kovalev was a better fit because he made more history. There's no better history that could be stamped in the history books than undisputed. I don't care what you say. Anywhere you go, if somebody says I'm the undisputed champion, there's no argument, there's no hiccups, no hangups, no nothing. Reggie Owens, let's get Reggie in here real quick, and then we're gonna bounce back. Reg, what's going on?
Okay, cool.
What's happening? What's happening?
What's going on, Big Reg?
Oh, nothing. Chilling, man. That thing you was talking about Berlanga and Benavidez, man. Berlanga ain't ready for that Benavidez work. I think it's too immature. I mean, not immature, but it's too soon to make that call. And like Benavidez already called him out. Said if he want to fight, he can fight. And I don't think Berlanga is seasoned enough. I think what Berlanga is doing as far as knockouts is impressive, but they ain't fighting the same level of competition. And what you're seeing with Benavidez is not the fact, even though he's stopping people, he ain't looking to go knock folks out. He's a boxer to begin with. Berlanga has kind of taken upon the identity of being a knockout artist. And sometimes that can be detrimental to the path of a fighter. You go in here looking to knock people out. When that doesn't work, usually they don't go around to a plan B, and that's going back into boxing because its identity has changed. He getting there against Benavidez and can't get in there and box him, it's over with. And Benavidez is dangerous. Not only that he's big, it's that hand speed. That speed is ridiculous that this kid has, especially at that damn size and weight. And he can hit you from many angles. His uppercuts,
and he doesn't get tired.
And he don't get tired. That's the other thing. His cardio is on point. And Berlanga will get dusted by Benavidez.
They've already said that. Bob Arum said it. I think it was his fight before last. About 2 or 3 years from now, they're saving Berlanga for Canelo. They're trying to groom him for a Canelo fight. Puerto Rican Day Parade. They want it 3 years from now. Berlanga versus Canelo. They already at and by that time they said they'll both probably be at 175.
Yeah. Shout out to my boy Centos Boxing, man. Shout out to you, Misfit Ethan, man. Appreciate y'all for sliding through on this late night, man. So Reg, but would you be interested in that fight though?
Oh, of course. I'm interested in every fight that's out there. Of course. I would like to see it. And if Berlanga take it, he's young in his career, he can bounce back from it. He can learn from the fight. But I hope if Berlanga's taking significant beat down and is not in the fight, that his team be willing to stop the fight. Because you see too much of that, man. There'd be too much unnecessary crap that these trainers, these referees, and these doctors allow within the sport. Like even with Ronald Ellis, even though Ellis probably was strong enough, he probably didn't feel like he was getting hurt. That fight should have been stopped. And I see too many teams. They should have stopped that fight in
like the 8th round.
Yeah, definitely. Even when that doctor said he needs to check him out, the corner after that round should have said, "Nah, let me take this fighter out because you're gonna take something away from that fighter."
Hey, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Y'all know me. I don't normally root against the black guy, right? That's, you know what I mean? A lot of, you know what I'm saying? But Benavidez, when I seen him beat the shit out of Anthony Dirrell, I said, okay, all right. He won me over. That night, I seen him up close and personal. I said, all right, you got me.
He won me over the night he beat the shit out of, what's the kid where his mama was training him? That night he beat the shit out of him and stopped him. What's his name, man?
He fought yesterday.
Yeah,
he fought yesterday too?
Mama's boy.
Yeah.
Mama's boy, yeah. When he beat the shit out of him and stopped him in front of his mama, like, yeah, that's a bad motherfucker right there. I like him.
JB, join the panel, man. Join the panel, dog.
And that's his style of fighting. He ain't a knockout artist, man. He's not a knockout artist. His thing is to beat you into submission, and there's nothing you want more. I prefer seeing a fighter that does that. Benavidez breaks you down properly, and you don't see that much. He's 24 years old. He's going to be bad unless somebody can get in there and possibly do something. But I see nothing but danger from this dude. And I'm a Caleb Plant fan. And I think Caleb Plant got some hard work on his hands. Like the speed of that dude is ridiculous, man.
Hey, I'm gonna
Yeah, I believe if Berlanga and Benavidez fought today, it'd go pretty much the same way as Hopkins and Felix Trinidad. You remember Trinidad was knocking out everybody. Nobody wanted to fight him. And then Hopkins they put him in there with Hopkins, and Hopkins gave him a boxing lesson and stopped him. I believe it'll go that's the same way if they fought today.
I agree.
Who is Honcho Boxing? Who is that? I don't even know who that is. Yeah, man. Dude, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, dog. What I seen, Charlo, I don't know if he ready for that yet, brother. I ain't going.
Charlo don't want to fight. Charlo don't want to fight him for real. Charlo don't want to fight him for real. He don't. He really don't, man. I'm convinced that he really don't want to fight Benavidez for real. It was just some fly shit he said. Didn't think Benavidez was paying no attention. Then Benavidez pulled his card. Now all of a sudden he copping pleas. Oh, he got to have a COVID test. Oh, I ain't fighting nobody under 25. Now I think he half kidding when he said, but at the same time, I'm not gonna say he's scared because these are professional fighters. I don't think the fighters are actually afraid to fight each other. But I think he sees something like, nah, that's too much work right now. Okay. It's gonna be too much work to get him out of there.
Okay. Now I got a question for y'all, right?
Okay.
I'm interested in seeing this. Caleb Plant, Jamal Charlo. Let me get the panels. We start with DJ, Reg, and then JB. Tell me what y'all think about that fight.
Let's see. How big is Caleb Plant?
I don't know right off.
Oh, okay.
You mean
as far as boxing skill, I would have to give the edge to Caleb Plant. But as far as pressure and power, I'd have to give it to Charlo. Now, it all depends on what round Caleb Plant starts to fade, because we all know he starts to fade. We've seen it several times. He started to fade in the Truex fight, in a fight that he was winning handedly. He started to fade in that fight. So I believe it all depends on what round Charlo's pressure starts to kick in and starts to make him fade. If it's before the 7th round, Charlo wins. He beats him down and probably stops him late. Probably stops him in the 11th round.
For sure. Okay.
Yeah, I got Caleb Plant against Charlo, man. I think they're about equal in height. I think Charlo may be about 6 foot, 6'1". I think Caleb Plant is about the same height, maybe 6'2" or something. And Caleb Plant is swift. Caleb Plant ability, he can box. He boxes well. To me, everything ain't about the knockout. I think he can. The thing with him is cardio. That's the other thing. Charlo can probably catch up to Plant late in the fight. If Plant keep running into these cardio issues, he leaves himself open. But I think if he can maintain that cardio issue, he can put boxing on Charlo. I think Charlo would leave himself open, trying to come in there over aggressive against a high level boxer like Caleb Plant. I think I favor Caleb Plant in that fight versus Charlo.
Okay. Tino the Great, man. Suti for coming through here, man. Appreciate you for sliding through, man. JB, who you got?
I say Charlo. Plant cool. He can box a little bit, but Charlo hit hard as shit. So I feel like if he'd catch Plant, he could cut the ring off well. Plus he a solid counter puncher too. So I think that Plant, he gonna fold under the pressure that Charlo gonna put on him, and he gonna end up. I feel like he can knock Plant out.
So this is my thing with that, right? If y'all think that the pressure that Charlo gonna put on him would affect him like that, there's no way in hell Caleb Plant in y'all eyes is gonna beat David Benavidez. I mean that shit.
No, I don't think he can beat David Benavidez.
Okay.
Because I believe David Benavidez is gonna make him work too hard.
Okay. So Reg, what you think? win that fight?
With Benavidez and Caleb.
Yeah.
Caleb's a good boxer, but Benavidez as well. That's gonna be a hard fight. And Benavidez can mess around and stop Caleb Plant. If that cardio-ish comes up anywhere in that fight, it's a done data. That's the wrong dude to be in the ring fading away against. You fade away against Benavidez, he's stopping you. He either you gonna drop up out of that fight, or you gonna force your team to stop the fight. I think he's just too much of a danger with the power that he has, the speed and cardio is the main factor. He ain't getting tired, and he ain't being bullied around in these fights. So it's and he's young. He's a young dude. So if he stays in shape, his only problem, you just hope he don't take camp serious, or he ain't living the right kind of lifestyle. But coming in this camp, he showed it. If he maintains this level of discipline, man, it's gonna be tough. And I'm more in favor as a fan of Caleb Plant, but that's starting to shift because Benavidez is doing all the right things. He wants to fight. He don't care about these titles. He ain't care about he lost the WBC. He telling all these fools, you talking my name up, well, let's fight. And I gotta respect that. I'm a fan of boxing, like I always say. So I'm becoming a fan of this dude.
For sure. JB, and then my dog H Money. After that, after JB, H Money, you gotta clear up some stuff for us, man. We need you to clear some shit up for us, for sure. JB, go ahead.
Man, I got Benavidez versus Plant. This is a little bit different because Benavidez, he real slow though. You know what I'm saying? He real slow. He throw a lot of wide shots as far as his movement. But I seen in the fight on Saturday, I seen he real slow, and he got off to a kind of a late start. I think Plant can give him problems, but this is gonna be tough. You know, his pressure and his size. He got long ass arms, and he real big. That dude big as shit. He built like a cruiserweight, so it's gonna be hard for people to withstand his pressure. So I don't know if Plant can withstand that pressure for 12 rounds. So I think Benavidez will win, but he can be beat. You know, he definitely got flaws. He real slow footed. A guy that can box real well will give him problems. Like somebody like an Andrade, but obviously he at 160. But as far as guys at 168, nah, none of them give him any type of problems. But it's got to be against the right fighter. You know, problems, the right boxer. He real slow though. That's one thing I know. He real slow on his feet. He great at throwing punches and flurries and stuff like that. But yeah, that's it really.
Okay, Big Tank, man, what's happening, man? Let us know what you got on Caleb Plant, Benavidez.
Yo, what's good? Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Salute.
Salute to everybody on the panel. Salute to the boxing section. My brother Kyle. Caleb Plant versus Benavidez would be a good bout. I think that's the bout to make at 168. I didn't mean that to rhyme, but it rhymes, so we're going to go with it. That's the fight that I want to see at 168. I'm not really worried about what Saul Alvarez is doing because it doesn't seem like he's interested in some of the tougher guys at the weight class, even though he says that he wants to unify or at the division to become undisputed champion. But these guys all seem to be chasing him for whatever reason. And I think the fight to make is for them to fight each other. And the logical fight is Benavidez versus Plant. I think that the style that Benavidez has is a style that it would be interesting to see versus the more boxing style that Plant has. Plant could use his boxing skills if he can fight off the jab all night long. You have to be really concise and precise with his punching and his output because of the way Benavidez fights. He's a pressure fighter, but the thing about Benavidez is he doesn't fight off of the jab as much as he probably could. He can stalk you and put the pressure on you, and he really is pretty fast with his combinations, and he's accurate with them, and they're all thudding shots. If you ever seen him live, you can actually hear almost damn near every punch that the guy throws and lands on his opponents. And so you have to be on point for the entire length of the fight, however long it lasts, if you're Caleb Plant. And so I have to see if Plant will be able to be disciplined enough to be able to do that. Because I know that Benavidez, his motor runs all night, and he's going to be able to do what he does, which is continue to put that pressure on you and fight the style that benefits him the most. So I think it's an interesting fight, and whichever one can, execute the game plan, should be able to win a decision on that one. But if, like I say, Benavidez hits so hard that if he catches Caleb with something while they're opening up, he may be able to hurt him with a shot or two in the midst of those combinations, and then who knows what can happen from there.
For sure. My dog H Money back in full effect. Hold on real quick. Let's put this banner up, man. Hold on. We're going to put the banner up real fast. H Money, man, share your thoughts on one of your favorite fighters of all time, man. Go ahead, H.
Definitely the greatest middleweight of all time. Marvelous Marvin Hagler, over 60 fights, a true champion, undisputed middleweight champion for 7 years. Great fights with John the Beast Mugabe. He knocked out John the Beast Mugabe. Also, he knocked out Thomas Hearns. He beat up Sugar Ray Leonard. He was robbed in that fight. Sugar Ray Leonard ran. He didn't want no smoke. He was holding. Sugar Ray Leonard was tired. You know what I mean? Sugar Ray Leonard was ducking Marvin Hagler for 5 years. Sugar Ray Leonard, he requested big gloves. He requested a big ring so he could run like a girl. Sugar Ray Leonard, he changed the rules from 15 rounds of championship boxing to 12 rounds. Sugar Ray Leonard wanted no smoke, bro. The ultimate duck in Marvin Hagler is the greatest middleweight of all time. And Marvin Hagler is the boogeyman. He was the first boogeyman in boxing. You know what I mean? So with that being said, he did beat Roberto Duran. You know what I mean? He beat up Roberto Duran. You feel me? So come on, man. Can't nobody fuck with Marvin Hagler, man. You know what I mean? I've been telling you, man. You know what I mean? He switched from orthodox to southpaw. Who did it like that? Now you got Terrence Crawford doing the same thing, switching up his style. You feel me? They want to be like Hagler. Undisputed, you want to be like Hagler. Rest in peace to the legend. The best to ever do it in the middleweight division. You know what I mean? I told you about this H, man. I told you about this H, bro. Devin Haney. You know what I mean? Larry Holmes. That H. You feel me? Marvin Hagler, the original. The best to ever do it. You feel me? So, that's how we going to do it. And, shout out to David Benavidez doing this thing. You feel me? I fuck with my boy Chocolatito and Juan Francisco Estrada, man. It was a great fight. Shout out to Jessica McCaskill, undisputed champion. She beat Breakers once again on the zone. And the boxing section, I try to tell you all the time, man, you gotta listen if you want to learn, my brother. You know what I'm saying? I try to tell you like this now. You talking about Raymond Ford, bro, the best prospect in boxing. Look like he took a draw while my boy Lolo keep winning, while my fighters Devin Haney keep winning. You need to get with this H. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't going to go wrong with it. When you talk about Hagler, you talk about Holyfield. You talk about Holmes, Larry Holmes. You feel me? You know what I mean? Hey, Lolo Harris. You feel me? Get with this H, bro. You dig?
H Money, now that we got you here, bruh, Mauricio Suleiman dropped a bomb today. He said that Devin Haney's team did not want to fight with Ryan Garcia. Can you please tell us what's going on? Can you elaborate the situation? Because I know
Mauricio Suleiman, Reggie Owens cooked him. He already been cooked. So you know what? You can't really take what he said. You know what I mean? Because he's not no promoter. You got to go what Bill Haney say and what Eddie Hearn say. They said they want that fight. Mauricio Suleiman, he's just the president of the WBC. He ain't no promoter. He ain't making no fights, bro. Fuck what he talking about. He ain't talking about shit. Fuck you mean? He ain't talking about a motherfucking thing. Nigga, fuck the WBC, nigga.
Only thing he doing nowadays is giving out duck belts.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Okay, so I'm glad you was able to clear that up for us, man, because we can't let that type of shit run wild. Okay, so let's switch gears real quick. Everybody on the panel, we're gonna start with Reggie Owens, JB, DJ, Tank, and then we'll go back to H Money. I want y'all to give me a Marvin Hagler fantasy fight. A fight that would have been great for us to see. So you could take somebody from way back when versus, way back when, or you could take somebody from right now versus Marvin Hagler. Sir Reggie Owens, kick it off for us.
Hagler versus the other great middleweight, Bernard Hopkins. No doubt.
Ooh.
I like it. Okay, JB.
And Hagler versus, I'm gonna say, the GOAT, Ray Robinson.
Okay. DJ.
Even though he wasn't a middleweight, give me Hagler and Andre Ward.
Okay. Tank.
I have to say, I want what Hagler would want. And so the only fight that he didn't get that he wanted to get in his career, which probably went into the reason that he retired, is the fantasy match between Marvin Hagler and Ray Leonard Part 2. So the rematch is the only fight that never happened, that should have happened, and that he would have wanted to happen. So in honor of the greatest middleweight of all time, you know what I'm saying? That's what he would have wanted. So that's what I would want for him, is to get that rematch with Ray Leonard.
I know you took the words right out of H Money's mouth. H Money, give us two, man, because I know how much you cared about Marvin Hagler, man. I know you. That's one of your favorite fighters, man. I know every time we talk boxing, you talk about Marvin Hagler, man. So I need you to give me two people, two fantasy fights.
Well, Tank, he just made a great point, man. Sugar Ray Leonard ducked the rematch with Hagler. He wouldn't give him a rematch. Sugar Ray Leonard, bro, was like, bruh, the ultimate diva in boxing history. The ultimate duck was Sugar Ray Leonard, bro. He ducked Aaron Pryor, bro. He didn't give us every fight. You know what I mean? So that's why fighters like Teofimo Lopez, they do what they do, because Sugar Ray Leonard did it first, bro. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I would say Roy Jones Jr. I would like to see Marvin Hagler knock his head off. You know what I mean? Hagler would have knocked him out, knocked the steroids out of him.
No shit, here he go.
Woo! Hold on, now you struck a nerve then.
Yeah, that steroids Roy Jones was taking when he took them steroids. Yeah, he a cheater too. Fucking cheating Roy Jones ass. He took steroids, my nigga.
I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave it alone. Go ahead. I'm letting it go.
He did, bro. Nah, bro. He's a cheater, bro.
Okay.
All right, H, give me your second one, man. Hey, we talking about Marvin Hagler right now, man. Give me your second one.
Oh, the second one?
Yeah.
I said Roy Jones. You know, I got Hagler knocking out Roy Jones Jr. Another one would probably be Canelo. Yeah, I would like to see him knock out that steroid cheater too. Knock the steroids out of him. Get all the cheaters. I want to see Hagler get all the cheaters, nigga.
Hey, I respect it 100%. Hey, I respect it 100%, man. I can't be mad at you at all. Okay, so let's switch gears, man. Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. Tyson Fury, he talked that bullshit. You know what I mean? Centos Boxing, if you want to join the panel, man, you already know you welcome. Hold on one second real quick, guys. Hold on, my bad. Let me put this back in the chat one more again. All right, here we go. All right. So yeah, the Tyson Fury situation, right? Where he said he'll never fight Deontay Wilder again. Now he's backtracking. What are y'all thoughts, and what do y'all want to see happen next? We'll start out. H Money. We'll go to Tank, DJ, JB, and Sir Reggie Owens.
Well, I'm still thinking that Deontay Wilder should retire from the sport of boxing. He should leave while he's on top. I feel like right now Deontay Wilder made a lot of money in the sport of boxing, and I just want to see the man retire from the sport. To be honest, well, boxing is a deadly sport. You know, he's been in the game for a long time. He took a lot of punches. You know, he had a great career. They had to cheat him. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I would like to see Wilder retire. Just like when Marvin Hagler retired against, Sugar Ray Leonard when he got robbed and they wouldn't give him his rematch. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to see Wilder retire, to be honest.
Okay.
Get a job as a commentator like Andre Ward, PBC, give him a job as the commentator. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. You know what I mean? He has a great career. You know what I mean? One of the greatest heavyweights of all time. You know what I'm saying? Leave like that.
Okay. So where we going? We going DJ, Tank.
All right. As far as Tyson Fury backtracking, I mean, what do you expect dope fiends to do when they ain't got nothing else to do? When they ain't got nowhere else to go, what do you expect dope fiends to do? They backtrack. Anyway, I wouldn't want to see him retire. I at least want to see him get to Anthony Joshua before he retires. Like, we've seen two of the Tyson Fury fights, and even though he won the first fight and got cheated out of the second fight, I do want to see that third fight. Because now there's a magnifying glass on that third fight, and no cheating will be involved. I think Wilder knocks him out in that third fight, and Tyson Fury just kind of goes off into the sunset. I don't think he really wants to fight anymore. I think he got back to being relevant again, and that fame and that stardom all is starting to get to him again. Because if you see these pictures, he's fat again. Let's call it what it is. He's fat again. And I think if he does have to take a drug test, he'll pop positive for something else, and then he'll be out another 6 months. Because if you're that confident that you beat this guy, because him and his camp believe that they beat Wilder twice. If you're that confident that you've already beaten him twice, why not give him a third fight?
Yeah.
So I would like for Wilder to, I would like for him to take another fight. I don't want him to continue to sit on the shelf, because he's already been out, 13 months? So I'd like for him to take another fight. Possibly either Charles Martin or Andy Ruiz. Get Andy Ruiz after he beats up Chris Arreola. And box Joshua into a corner. Become his mandatory. Because before long, the WBC is going to strip Tyson Fury anyway. So box Anthony Joshua into a corner, or even go after what's his name? The Russian cat. Not Russian, but Ukrainian cat. Usyk. Go after him.
Okay. For sure.
I'd like for him to get another fight before he fights Tyson Fury again.
Okay. Bro, he took a lot of punches already, bro. Why would you want him to continue to take more punishment? We seen what the game did to Muhammad Ali. We seen what happened to Riddick Bowe. I mean, Wilder, like we said, he got cheated. How did he get cheated? With gloves? Well, so the man took illegal blows, had a dent in his head, and we want him to keep fighting. I think we starting to be selfish as fight fans. Let the man retire. He's already rich. Why we want to keep pushing him to keep fighting? He don't have nothing else to prove. He don't have nothing to prove, bro.
Okay.
because he's expressed no interest in retiring. If he had 1 foot in the door, 1 foot out, then I'd say go ahead and retire. But he's expressed nothing but an interest for that third Fury fight, and he's still talking about all these other fights. It seems like he still has the steam to want to fight.
Okay. Big Tank.
Yeah, it's I don't put too much stock in what Tyson Fury says in his interviews. I put some stock in it just because sometimes he says something that he'll say something that to me makes sense. You know what I mean? Or not make sense, but I believe that he's being honest with, like when he said that he was going to be doing that old bare knuckle brawling trick by dipping his hands in petrol to make his hands hard. I believe that's what he did differently for the second fight. But there's certain things that he says that I don't, put much credence in. So him saying what he said recently about him, Deontay Wilder being a fight out there after Bob Arum speaking for him said that Tyson would, that Fury, because I don't like calling him Tyson, but that Fury would never fight Wilder again because of his comments about him being a cheater. Granted, I didn't hear Fury say that, but that's what was reported by his promoter. So I don't know. I don't really take too much credence. It's like a 50-50 with this guy. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes he says things that sound outrageous, and then sometimes he says things that sounds like that's something that he'll do. And once you are caught cheating in a sport, you lose your credibility somewhat. So I think this is the case in point with his latest comments. It just sounds like he wanted something in a fight with Joshua that doesn't look like it's forming the way that he thought it would form, or as fast as he thought it would form. And so now he's just sitting down with his team. He's probably throwing some of those soft names out there that he wants to fight to quote unquote stay busy. And his team, as far as the American side and Top Rank, probably told him, we're not interested in paying for those names that you're throwing out there. And it's possible that they threw out the Wilder name, and that's the only reason he's repeating it. But, only time will tell. So I don't know what he's going to do. You know what I mean? We'll see.
For sure. Boxing conversation with Sir Reggie Owens right after JB. JB, go ahead.
Man, Tyson Fury a liar. Really gotta say he's a liar. You know what I'm saying? You can't really trust what he say, because he say something 1 minute and then do some opposite complete next minute. But man, he's just a liar. Like, he's just a liar, you know what I'm saying? Just a liar. So I can't really put much to what he say until actually happening. But hopefully that fight happens. Most likely it's probably not gonna happen. But I just want to see Wilder get one more belt before he retire.
For sure. Sir Reggie Owens.
Oh, crazy, man. Man, there's a contract written for this one. I think that's what should be happening. The what was put in before this fight was even granted to Tyson Fury. They had an arrangement. They made an agreement of what is that rematch clause? The rematch clause is activated. It should be honored. Tyson Fury, being the dude who's been given second and third chances in the sport, shouldn't be a guy who comes back into the sport and be allowed to do outlaw things, violating rules of binding contract terms. He should have to stick to that. Otherwise, he should not get any other opportunity of moving forward with the fight. If he doesn't want to fight Wilder, then Wilder should get that opportunity of facing AJ. And That's my thoughts on it. I think he should be able to try to, if he feels that he has nothing holding him back medically, he believes he's healthy enough to go back in there and fight Tyson Fury. And they do all the checks. They check the gloves, ensure he brings his own water. He's checking his water. Just eliminate everything that people may have come into, kind of their thoughts of what happened. I believe there was something, but being that there's no actual findings to anything that's been revealed, I just can't continue on with the talk of cheating. But going forward, everything has to be checked out. Go back into the fight, see what you can do against Tyson Fury, and then move forward from there. But I think he should be given that trilogy fight, because that's what was put into the contract before Tyson Fury given this other opportunity. But being a fool who is, when you look at Tyson Fury, there's always some disgust behind this dude and really no kind of punishment or holding him to a standard that he has to follow. And this is why he does what he does. I'm going to just do what the hell I want. F what contract y'all wrote me. Only thing I care about the contract is the money y'all put in it, and get my money, move on, do my own. Like, you can't let these dudes do that. And even with Eddie Hearn, he's another one of these dudes that play that kind of BS, because he pulled it when he put on the fight with Chavez Jr. and Danny Jacobs, with Chavez Jr. running away, not taking, and it even shows that Eddie Hearn gives no damn cares about the cleaning up this dang sport, because the fact when Chavez is running away from VADA, refusing to take a test, hiding away. I think they talk about him hiding under a ring, running out of the gyms to avoid taking these drug tests. And when they suspended him in Nevada, Eddie Hearn and them said, F these rules. We ain't living by the rules. We're going to go over to this other state in Arizona, and gave him the opportunity to fight in Arizona, make millions, and he just quit. He walked out the ring on fans that paid to see him and support him. The same thing he pulled with the Oscar Rivas, Dillian White situation, knowing Oscar Rivas failed the test. There was a glove situation involved in that fight. So, don't let these fools get the opportunity of what the hell they want to do within a sport, because they don't live by rules. And it's becoming a problem that it's a UK factor tied into all this stuff. You got that MTK global stuff people bringing up. You got Eddie Hearn with this type of stuff, trying to mask and hide away illegal crap going on in the game. You got Tyson Fury behind it. But that's my thoughts. But I think Wilder should be given that fight.
But hey, Reggie, he should retire. To be honest with you, I mean, we know he had a dent in his head. I heard he had an injury to his head and everything. So why we keep telling this man to fight, bro? You know what I mean? Because people want to make money out this guy. Is that what it is? He already, you know what I'm saying? He took less money to make people happy, and the man can't even enjoy himself. You know what I mean? After getting injured with some injured gloves, some gloves, some fucking fucked up gloves, right? You know what I mean? So we want him to keep fighting, though. Come on, Reggie Owens.
But no, H-Man, you got to look at it like this. It ain't people forcing Wilder to fight. Wilder wants to fight, and I feel that he's ready. But a lot of stuff they've been coming out on the Wilder side of thing, I ain't been buying into it. I think this is because the way I feel is that this is what happens with any athlete. Anytime they suffer a loss, they're gonna go through with these creation of why they lost and what may have happened. This is a common thing for athletes, especially athletes who achieve high level stuff. They're gonna always come up with excuses. So that's why I'm like, if I ain't hearing no actual findings and nothing presented, it's only so much I can go with. That's why I don't create content. I don't listen to when people are doing that for their shows on those days. I turn away from it because I don't buy into it. Sometimes you just got to own up. Like even when you listen to boxers who speak on this situation, boxers don't touch on none of that cheating stuff. It's just people here on YouTube who buy into it. If the findings ain't there, they're not there. But this is a common thing for any athlete to go about looking for what went wrong and this and that and pointing blame here and there. It's a common thing. Did he feel? But then when you come out with the glove thing, now you open these speculations like, dang, maybe this dude did something with his glove, a training partner come out. All that could be legit factors. But if you didn't catch him and investigations ain't going on because of this other wicked stuff in boxing, you can't prove it. You just got to move past it and just be ready for when the next one. But because this was written in the contract, Fury need to honor it, because Fury been doing too much where he doesn't honor anything in the sport of boxing.
Well, I can say this though, Reggie. You know what I mean? They saying, oh, but Wilder want to fight. Does it make it right? He's a fighter. He's supposed to want to fight, but it's our job to stop them. Muhammad Ali, he wanted to keep fighting on, and you seen what happened to him. He fought Larry Holmes, and he almost died in that fight. And then he came back and he fought Trevor Berbick. But people say he wanted to fight, but he needed somebody to stop him. That's why you need people on your team to stop you, the boxing section, to stop you from doing something wrong, bro. He's a fighter. He will fight to the death. Wilder wanted to keep fighting against Fury. Breland threw in the towel. So Breland got fired because he wanted to keep fighting. But you got to stop it. You're going to have to stop it, bro. You know what I mean? Or the man going to die. Then what? He got kids. He got a family. So you got, I mean, what it is. You want the man to fight to the death? Nah, man. It's not. That's not what it is. That's not cool, man. It's not cool what happened to Freddie Roach and Riddick Bowe. It's not cool to what happened to Meldrick Taylor, man. So now we talking about those gloves. We know the gloves were loaded. They had a weight in the glove. All of that shit, bro. So what it is. So he fought a whole fucking fight like that. 7 rounds. People wanted him to keep fighting till he died. You know what I mean? So people are mad at Mark Breland. You know what I mean? Wilder mad at Mark Breland for stopping the fight because he want to save him. He want to save his life. That's why he there. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's all fucked up, bro. But I know one thing. Wilder should not keep fighting, and we shouldn't keep pushing it and keep promoting it. We should tell the brother, you know what I mean, retire. You know what I mean? You made a lot of money. That's it. You know, you did good. You had a great career. That's it, bro.
Centos Boxing, man. Salute to my brother for coming back through, man. Your thoughts on the Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder? You muted. Centos,
I was hitting the wrong button. My bad.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. I hear what H is saying, man. But Deontay's still a young guy. He hasn't displayed any or mentioned any interest in retiring. And I think even though he's had a great career, he still need a couple of legacy fights for Hall of Fame status, in my opinion. And I think him getting his revenge on Fury and fighting Joshua will pretty much solidify him going to the Hall of Fame. Because the rest of the guys in the heavyweight division, those are fights that he would definitely be favored in. I think he will probably really venture more closely to thinking about retirement if he defeats those two guys, or at least get a chance to face those two guys before he's thinking about retirement. And those are, I think he mentioned a while ago when he's around 35, 36 or something, he was thinking about, leaving the sport at that point. So I think it'd be great for us to see him do those things. Fight those guys, and then we can say it was pretty much kind of like a complete career for him, and an awesome display of gladiator abilities. Now, well, I don't want to change the subject, but yeah, that's the way I see it for Deontay. Yeah, he's made a lot of money, but at the same time, I think him fighting now will be more for legacy versus money. But if money doesn't hurt, he'll be able to add a little bit more on top of what he has now. But I think it's all about the legacy right now.
Okay.
They said, I'm saying he took punishment in the Luis Ortiz fight. Come on, man. It only takes one shot. Now,
he didn't take a lot of punishment in that fight.
He is 35 years old.
I disagree with that. I don't think he took a lot of punishment
in that first fight, bro.
Ortiz fight.
He did in that first fight, bro.
Hey, the only fight he's taking a lot of punishment in is that last fight.
Bro, he took punishment in that first fight against Ortiz. Man, people go.
But H Money ain't no.
Y'all want the same.
He's been crushing people ever since that first fight.
Nah, bro. Ali kept fighting, and you said 35 or 36. Wilder is 35, bro. He is turning 36. So why we want him to keep fighting, bro? Ali kept fighting. You seen what happened to him, man.
Okay.
But look at this, H Money. Wait, go ahead.
We're gonna go around the panel, right? And that's a question that we're gonna answer. All right. So we're gonna start off with DJ, then we'll go to Santos, we'll go to Reg, we'll go to Tank, and then we'll go to JB. All right. So H Money poses the question: should Deontay Wilder retire? DJ, kick it off.
I don't think he should retire. I think he's probably 2, maybe 3 fights away from retiring. Because I say take one more fight, get Fury again, and then go to Joshua. Those are 3 fights that I think should happen. But like H Money said, he believes he's taking too much punishment. When I believe that the only fight that he's truly taking punishment in was that last Fury fight. I didn't see him really taking a lot of. Luis Ortiz never hurt it.
He did, bro. He did.
He never. In which fight? In which fight?
The first fight.
Fight.
He got that was a moment. He explained that it was a buzz, not something that was death-defying for him. I mean, we don't know how much internal damage may have been done, but he explained himself very well on that one, and he held himself very well on that. You got to remember, Mayweather took a hell of a blow, or took 2 hell of a blows from what's the kid name? Shane Mosley. But no one was looking for him to retire after that. You know, he took hell of a blows from him.
He never had a dent in his head, though. My brother, he never had a dent in his head.
Yeah,
he never got cheated.
He didn't have a dent in his head.
He never got cheated with some tampering with gloves. There was no padding in those gloves. My brother, let me just say this, my brother. It was no padding in the gloves. Wilder suffered injuries to his brain, bro. He got a dent in his head, bro. Come on, man. That never happened before.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that, but what I consider punishment, I mean, how many times has Wilder been cut in his career? How many times has his eyes been closed? You know, like that's what I consider a vast amount of punishment. When you got scar tissue built up all around your face, that's punishment. When you constantly been hit and been staggered and been knocked down, that's punishment to me. You getting buzzed by a quick right or an uppercut and then coming back to knock the guy out, that's not really punishment. The only fight to me, and I've seen a lot of his fights, even went to one, is when he fought Fury that last fight. He didn't take punishment from Fury in that first fight. He didn't take punishment from Ortiz in that second fight. Hell, even Brazil caught him with a quick right. And what happened with that fight?
Bro, but he got cheated, bro. The man Tyson Fury, gloves were loaded. And Deontay Wilder suffered a dent in his head, and y'all still want him to fight a year later. That don't even make no sense. That don't even make no sense, bro. I can't believe we've been talking about this.
But Cotto got cheated. He came back and revenged himself. This guy wants to revenge himself. If I'm in
you took the words right out my mouth. I was just about to use that.
Cotto wasn't 36.
I'm trying to get some get back in the streets. I'm trying to get some get back in the ring. That's just
Cotto wasn't 36 years old, bro. First of all, Cotto wasn't 36.
It don't matter, man. It's a fight.
Guess what?
It's a fight.
Guess what?
This guy's a young guy.
You want the man to keep fighting knowing that he had injuries to the brain.
I'm on my way up to Kentucky right now with a stick in my truck. A nigga pulled a knife out on me 2 weeks ago up here. If I see him, I'm cracking it. I'm 53 going on 54. You dig what I'm saying? I was trying to fight the nigga, and I was on the phone with y'all right before that. I was trying to fight the dude. The dude want to pull a knife out. Now I got something in my truck. I can't have no weapons or nothing like that, but I can have a stick up in him. He pulled that knife out today. He getting beat down. I'm telling you. Hey, look here. I'm from the streets, bro. If I feel like I've been dealt wrong and I'm still here and survived it, and I got strength, I want some get back.
But that's our job to stop you. That's my job to stop you and prevent anything like that from happening. You know what I mean? So, we could talk you out of the situation. You know what I mean? To make a bad situation worse, we not here for that. because we love Sento's
H.
boxing. You know, we
H.
don't want Sento
H.
boxing to get, you know what I'm saying, locked up or anything like that. You feel me?
But H, I've been listening to you for a while, bro. I love your passion. You ain't getting ready to let nobody stop you when you got your mindset on something. You think that you need to get out of do just like you and Batman going back and forth. You ain't getting ready to let nobody stop you.
But,
Get at a nigga, man.
But you still got you.
I'm not getting ready to let you stop me from getting at a nigga when I want to get at it. That's just
Hey,
real
but
talk.
you know what? You know what? Hey, guess what, man? You know, we got to stop certain situations, man. You
That's
know
true.
what I
I
mean?
agree.
We definitely.
But sometimes you gotta let a nigga be a nigga.
No, I mean, if I can stop something, I'm gonna try to stop. I'm gonna try to stop something before it get worse. You know, that's what Reggie Owens does. Reggie Owens does that. I'm saying Reggie Owens does
Money.
that.
Let me ask you this. Say Devin Haney and Tank actually fight. Tank beats the shit out of Devin Haney. I'm talking about cuts him up, drops him 2 or 3 times. And you looking at closes his eye, and you looking at Devin Haney after that fight, you gonna ask him to retire, or you gonna ask him to get some get back?
Bro, that's like some fantasy stuff, bro. That ain't gonna happen, bro. So I mean, I don't know why we gonna talk about that, bro. You know, we talking about what really happened. I'm talking about something that really did happen. Now, Wilder really did get cheated. You know what I'm saying? Suffered an injury to the brain, and y'all still talking about he needs to keep fighting. I mean, that don't. I'm not cool with that, bro. I'm not cool with fighters taking punishment. Let me say this: I'm not cool with fighters taking punishment. You know what I mean? Y'all think it's cool? He needs his get back because it sound cool because y'all want to be entertained and all of that. Man, fuck all of that. The man need to retire. He got a family. He almost died in that fight. People wanted him to die. They was mad. Mark Breland threw in the towel, but y'all still cool with this shit, bro. This shit gotta stop.
You know who needs to retire? Dominic Brazil. That's who needs to retire. Yeah. He's taking punishment. Like that's punishment to me.
Wilder took some life off of him.
Yo, hold on,
Wilder took something from him, just like Lennox Lewis took something from Michael Grant. Michael Grant should have retired after that Lennox Lewis fight.
Hey y'all, let me hit the chat real quick, man. Red Cliff, salute to you, my brother. Let me see who else we got in here. SF City Slicker, of course. My dog, salute to you too, my brother. G Trey, salute to you. Highly anticipated, salute to you. Jalen, salute to you too, my brother. Who else we got in here, man? My boy DB, my boy, salute to you, my boy, for coming through, showing love, man. Thank you. Cam, thank you for coming through, man, showing love. Salute to you, my brother. Let's see who else we got. We got Tino the Great, salute to you, my brother. Matrix R, salute to you too, my brother. Let's real quick though, let's get Tank in there. And then let's get JB, and then let's get Reggie, and then y'all can get back to the debate. But let them get their rocks off, and then y'all can go right back at it. So Tank, go ahead and do yours. JB, Reg, and then y'all can go right back at it and go back and forth. Go ahead, Tank.
Nah, go ahead. I don't got nothing on that. I mean, Wilder wants to fight. Wilder has his mind made up at fighting. That's what Wilder's going to end up doing. He's going to fight somebody, whether it's Tyson Fury or somebody else. At this point, that's what he's going to do. I got nothing to say on that, and because nothing that I say is going to matter. So I feel like it's a waste of time, me talking about what I think he should do when I already know what he's going to do and what he wants to do.
For sure. JB.
I'm with Tank. You know what I'm saying? You can't. At the end of the day, it's Wilder's decision if he wants to fight. You know, people can tell him not to fight, but if he wants to fight, he's gonna get in the ring. You know, you can't hold him hostage, put a gun to his head, and tell him not to fight. You know, he gonna do what he want to do at the end of the day, and that's what it's gonna be.
Okay, for sure.
It don't make it right though. It don't make it right that's what he want to do. So it's okay for him to do that. I mean, come on, bro. Ali wanted to fight, so it was okay. And see what happened to him. All right, bro.
Nah.
Go ahead, Rich.
Yeah, and you keep bringing the Ali thing up. The difference with Ali is what was being stated early in his career. What they seen from, you can see the Dundee videos, is that they worried about him taking too many punches. Ali took a lot of punches to the head. He took a lot of damage over his career against some severe heavy hitting heavyweights, and it just caught up with him. You haven't seen Wilder take Ali type damage throughout a career. And like they were bringing up, he only had the one fight where he was damaged. And then even bringing up the Luis Ortiz fight, what has resulted ever since that first Luis Ortiz fight? The continuous thing he's been doing, knocking cats up out of there, getting them out of there, not really suffering too much damage. Even in the fights where he was losing rounds, he wasn't taking damage. He just wasn't being busy, looking for the single punch, but taking no damage. The Tyson Fury fight, he took some damage. It's one defeat. Doesn't mean that he was written off. He was evaluated following the fight. I didn't hear anything about hospitalization. Just heard about the dent that they're talking about in the head, which is just something stated to prove that there may have been something used to state that there may have been something in the glove. Not to say that it caused neurological damage. It didn't do any of that. Not saying it fractured the head or anything. But then again, we don't know how honest or truthful it is that was there a real dent, but that doesn't take away that he can't continue on within his career. He wants to avenge his fight like a warrior wants to. And I think most warriors get the opportunity of avenging a loss. Retirement is foolish. Let a second fight prove whether or not he needs to retire. Like they were saying, Dominic Brazil returned after being devastated, not being from what Wilder did. Dominic has been in a lot of wars where he's sustained a lot of damage over his career. He's going to be, as time moves on, he ages, he's probably going to age very bad based on the wars he's been in and trying to continue in his career. The same thing with Vermaine Stavern. Wilder ain't took the damage these guys have taken, and they ain't retired. Ali taking a lot of damage, and he didn't retire. And he's been taking damage for a long time. So one fight doesn't mean the fighter should remove himself because of words of a dent. There's more things you got to get in medically about the dent. There was no brain trauma from whatever the dent was. It's just being, if an object was in there, it pressed in something. I doubt if it's a dent in the skull. If it was a dent in the skull, there's a crack in it. You just can't dent a skull. So I think they've misused the terms they were using. And that's just my thoughts on it. But to walk away, give him the second opportunity. But you can't dent a skull. You can crack it.
Well, pretty much with what happened with Panama Lewis and in his fight, well, you know what I'm saying, with Bobby Collins, when he was cheated with Resto, right? So Collins, he was never the same. And that was one fight. So the same thing happened with Wilder. We heard people compare it to that situation. And also, let's talk about Riddick Bowe. He had a couple of fights. He was young. Riddick Bowe suffered brain damage. You know what I mean? What about Gerald McClellan? You know what I mean? So,
him though.
Let me finish. Riddick Bowe, he had brain damage, right? He doesn't even talk the same, and he was young. So it happened to more heavyweights other than Muhammad Ali. He was just one example, but it's cool, bro.
But H Money, you bring up Riddick Bowe. Riddick Bowe's no different than Muhammad Ali. Look at Riddick Bowe's fights. He's been in wars, unnecessary wars, getting hit to the head. That's why he's the way he is.
And Wilder was hit in the head by Fury. The same thing. He was in a war with Fury.
One fight. Riddick Bowe has several fights, Edge Money. Muhammad
I was
Ali
about to
has
say,
several fights.
do you remember those fights against Evander Holy? Those were wars,
remember
man.
that fight with Tyson Fury? Come on, man. Y'all tripping, bro. This is crazy, bro.
You want to retire after one loss?
Hey, after getting cheated like that with some loaded gloves, yes. Taking brain damage, yes. Yeah. In Wilder's team, Tay Jones said that they got documents from the doctor showing that Wilder received injuries to the head, you know what I'm saying, from a loaded glove, bro. So, and when people saying his team is saying that he suffered injuries to the brain, and people saying, oh, he's okay after a year, like that didn't happen to him.
But I guess Errol Spence should have retired after that car accident, man.
No, but didn't that same team say that he's cleared to go?
Yeah, they said Ali was clear to go. And see, I mean,
no,
man.
not.
It's
I'm
cool.
talking about Deontay Wilder though. You said the team said that he had brain damage. I
didn't say brain damage. I said the team. Tay Jones said they got documents from the doctor showing that he received injuries. Right.
Right. Yeah, he said that. He said that the doctor. What he said was that the doctor said that a normal fist couldn't do that. There had to be a hard object to hit the injury is consistent with a hard object hitting the skull. He didn't say that the gloves was loaded. He just said that the injury is consistent with a hard object harder than a normal fist is what did it. But
so if that's the case, I don't want to see my boy take more damage. That's all that I'm saying.
That's nothing wrong with that. I don't want to see any of these guys take more damage. I don't even want to see him take more damage to his. Hello, am I getting feedback in my ear? Hold on, I think I'm getting some feedback. Okay, it's gone. Yeah, I don't want to see him take damage not only to his head but his hands and his elbows, which he has had trouble with because of the abuse of the body of punching guys with the velocity that he has. I don't want to see it at all. That's what I'm saying. I can't speak to what I already know he wants to do. Like I can go all day about a lot of fighters and a lot of athletes. You should stop while you're ahead. Why keep going now? Damn, there we go again. Hold on. Let me take my mic.
If most fighters,
can y'all hear that?
Retired after
somebody got to go on
something
mute.
like that.
Somebody on some music.
Hey, somebody got to turn the music down. I can't even hear myself talk.
Yeah, you're going to get the channel flag for playing that music in the
Somebody
background.
got some music playing in the back. Got to turn it down.
Somebody got to mute their mic. While other people are going until somebody else stops talking. But I don't want to see nobody that's going on and on and on like H Money is saying, like guys like Ali who was fighting 15 rounders, and guys like Bermain Stavern who's getting knocked out cold, and people are actually getting hyped up to talk about Mike Tyson versus Evander Holyfield. Even in the exhibition, I don't want to see Evander Holyfield get hit at all in his head. The man could barely talk. His motor skills are obviously affected. He doesn't even look the same, and people are actually promoting and talking about a fight with him and Mike Tyson. So I totally understand what you're saying, H Money. But my thing is, I know what Deontay Wilder wants to do right now, in his immediate future, and that's what he's going to do. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying whether he should or shouldn't. I'm just saying I know what he's going to do in his immediate future because he's already come out and said it. His team is saying that there are no decrease in his motor skills in terms of any injuries that he may have faced. But that's what they're saying. I'm just going to go by what the team is saying. I mean, me personally, he's going to be retiring sooner than later. The bulk of his career is already behind him. So, in realistic, to be realistic about it, he's going to be retiring pretty soon anyway, because he's a fighter that's up in age. Even though he started boxing late, he has a lot of damage on him outside of what happened to him in the Tyson Fury fight. You know what I'm saying? Surgeries on his hands, elbows, and things like that. So, he's going to be retiring pretty soon. I don't want to see anybody get hurt, injured, or have to suffer the rest of their life because they stayed in the game too long. I'm with you on that. But to say that he should retire now is, to me, for me, not you, for me, is irrelevant because I know he's not going to retire now. That's why I was like, it's a waste of my time to even touch on whether he should retire right now. He's not going to retire now. So what is there to talk about?
Okay. So another question I have for y'all, right, pertaining to Deontay Wilder and the situation about him retiring. Okay. If he does retire now, H Money, right, where does that leave the heavyweight division?
You still got plenty of young fighters coming up in the game. Jared Anderson, the real big baby. I think he will take over. You know what I'm saying? Especially in America. You got fighters like Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury still. You got you got a lot of guys. Joe Joyce, you know what I'm saying? Joe Joyce, a good fighter. Filip Hrgović, you know what I mean? Usyk and them, you know what I mean? I just want to see Wilder. I want to see him do, the commentary like Andre Ward. You know what I'm saying? I want to see him do the same thing with the PBC, man. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. DJ.
You know what'll happen to the heavyweight division if Deontay Wilder retires right now? It'll die for 10 years like it did when Lennox Lewis left and the Klitschko brothers took over.
Bro,
Nobody
Jared
will care.
Anderson, bro. Jared Anderson, bro. The big
I
baby.
feel you because I just seen him fight. I just saw him fight. I like the kid, man. But how long will it be before he actually ascends to the top, bro?
He coming up fast.
How long do you think it'll take for him to actually get a real shot at somebody? Because by that time you gotta think Anthony Joshua will be on his way down. By the time he makes it up there, what do you say? 5-6 years? By the time
No, I don't think
anybody
it'll
will
be that
really
long.
or somebody will really give him a shot, it'll be 5 or 6 years from now. Because this kid's what, 6'5"? He's dangerous, man. I watched him fight his last fight, and that was the first time I'd ever seen him fight. Nobody's gonna want to fight him anytime soon. None of the top guys are going to want to fight him anytime soon. So you got to look at it. Fury's probably going to stick around another 2 or 3 years. Then they're going to get him out the sport because he'll do something else because, dope fiends can't help it. Anthony Joshua will probably be undisputed if Wilder walks away. And he'll say, oh, what else do I have to prove? I've been undisputed. I've held the belts. So I made all the money I could make. Why keep going? He'll probably retire. Then you got Usyk who'll stick around. You got the other dope fiend in the heavyweight division who everybody keeps hyping up. What's that? Dillian White. He'll probably stick around far longer than he should. Joe Joyce I like, even though he's only had 12, 13 fights. How many fights has he had? 12, 13, something like that.
Let me look it up.
I think he's only had like a handful of fights. But I think the heavyweight division will go dormant again. Maybe not 10 years was an over-exaggeration, but I think it'll go dormant again at least another 4 years. I don't think anybody will really care. If he retires and once Fury and Joshua fight, I don't think anybody will care after that.
All right, Santos. You muted, big dog. You muted.
Oh, there we go. This wind blowing. I'm trying not to wreck. I think Deontay should be allowed to walk away from the sport. At this point in his career, I think it's his choice. I don't think it's our choice if he stays or if he leaves. I respect everything my man H Money is saying. I understand everything he's saying. I also understand what Wilder is saying about, getting that third fight, to redeem himself and to get back at him. He definitely wants Fury now after knowing that Fury cheated. So I don't want to see him walk away. And if he leaves the sport, the heavyweight division is going to be just like my man just said. The money's not going to be in the heavyweight like it is now. It'll drop down a couple of divisions, and it's not going to be near as exciting with Wilder being a part of the conversation. I do think you'll see an early exit from Joshua, just like my man said. I do think Tyson Fury would go out there and live his best life, drinking, doping, and whatever else he could do. And everyone else will just be beating up on each other, but it won't be all that exciting because there won't be no 1 or 2 or 3 dominant forces in that division that you can look forward to. So, yeah, I don't. The sport needs him right now. The sport needs him as a whole, and definitely the weight division needs him. And without him, the excitement's not there.
Okay.
And I just want to see when you think heavyweight, you're thinking boom, boom, knockdowns, knockouts, and explosive punches, man. So I just think we need to leave it like it is right now. Except we need to have the fights. We don't need these stagnant times that we're going through, these dormant times right now. That's all I have.
Okay. JB.
If he were to retire, the division would kind of be stagnant a couple years until Big Baby get a shot at the title. It was really he the guy, he the next big face as far as heavyweights, but I meant the division, the heavyweight division, one of the divisions that's it's not, it's not gonna be, it's not deep. You know what I'm saying? It hasn't been deep in years and years. But yeah, that's it really.
Sir Reggie Owens.
And this about the path of the heavyweight division.
So if Deontay Wilder walks away, where does that leave the heavyweight division?
I think the division can carry on. You know, it's just gonna be a new breed. We just gonna want to see where these young guys come from. There's some up and coming heavyweights. You got Herkovitz, you got Anderson, you got some of these dudes moving up through the cruiserweight division that's gonna move up. But it's gonna take the thing that Wilder brought is he brought the knockouts, which is always an exciting thing to the heavyweight division. But to see some of these other big dudes, you may see some guys come up here and do it. Joe Joyce, you got a Jogba. People want to see some of these dudes, see what they look like matched up. You got some of the other names that are falling away. Right now, the heavyweight division is just top heavy with just 3 people on the top. Other than that, once they move out the way, you'll get to see what this new wave of heavyweights is going to look like. We're going to probably want to see what the kid out of Ohio looks like, Big Baby Anderson, and who knows who's else out there. I think you're going to start getting this boxing starts to kind of grow and expand. You may get some of these bigger kids who maybe you get a shift away from football, a shift away from basketball, where some of these kids are going to starting in these programs. Some of these bigger kids who grow into their bodies of becoming heavyweights, and they gain this experience. You may see a growth in that because there's more money coming through the sport of boxing. A lot of these young kids may end up being influenced to come into the sport watching one of their favorite social media guys, and they take up the sport of boxing. So, and you probably got some of these dudes that are in this amateur system now. You got these folks coming from these European countries. You got some coming out of Africa. You got a lot of Africans picking up the sport, and they're athletic and gifted. So we never know what happens. But then again, it could go dormant for a few years, like DJ was saying as well. But I think you have it in a good position with some of these other dudes that are out here who we have yet to see kind of showcase himself.
Hey, Filip Hrgović, bro, he's a beast. Watch out for Hrgović. And my boy Jared Anderson taking over. Jared Anderson, the next Riddick Bowe right there, bro. The new Riddick Bowe, baby. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Y'all better watch out, bro.
For sure. Big Tank. Tank, you still here? Y'all hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Hear me now?
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. If Deontay Wilder does retire right now, which I would have no problem with him retiring for the record, I got no problem with that. Got no issue with that. He's done enough for me. You know what I'm saying? He brought the heavyweight division back and put the emphasis back on the heavyweight division. He's done enough for me. My thing is, I haven't heard him insinuate that he wants to retire. But if he does, the thing that will automatically leave with him is that excitement, knowing that every time this guy gets into the ring, something explosive will happen. Every time he's gotten to the ring, something explosive has happened. Even in his TKO loss in his last fight, where the towel got thrown in, even that fight was an explosive fight. Didn't go his way, but people are still talking about it nonetheless till this day. No pun intended, or pun intended. You know what I'm saying? But so that goes away with him. But in terms of the talent pool that's in the heavyweight division, I think that the next, I disagree that it'll take very long for like a Jared Anderson to get an opportunity Um, reason being is because lately we've been seeing a lot of fighters get fast tracked. And Jared Anderson, I think he already has, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but like 5 fights in 2020. You know what I mean? Four or 5 fights he had in 2020 alone. And he's at 8 fights right now. The guy that has been thrust into the heavyweight picture after his success in cruiserweight, Alexander Usyk, he only has 18 fights. So, and they're talking about him as the next in line. Should Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury fight? So, I think that Jared Anderson is around 8 fights right now. So, you know what I mean? Probably in the next 2 or 3 years, he's going to put himself in a position to contend for a top spot in one of these titles in the title picture. And we could be looking at a collision course instead of Wilder Joshua, but we may be looking at a collision course between Jared Anderson and Joy Joyce. So, there's a couple other fighters out there like Frank Sanchez and a lot of guys that are going to come up that's going to be deserving of the spotlight. But I think that as a boxing fan, it's just going to force the casual boxing fan to look at some of this young talent pool and support the journey of some of these young guys, and not just wait for them to get on the scene and do something, but to actually follow their journey. Because, like H Money said, there's some good young up and coming talent out there that people are not talking about enough because, like Reggie Owens said, the division is seen as being top heavy. So, what I'm saying, these are younger guys, got, 12 fights, 8 fights, 3 years in the sport, and they deserve to get the shine on them as well. And if Deontay Wilder left the sport, I don't see why Fury wouldn't be too far behind that. Give these young guys some shine, and they're out there. So let's keep an eye out for them.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah, even Michael Hunter.
What's the guy's name who just fought on Plant's undercard, man? I think he's Wilder's training partner. You know what I'm talking about? Guy who got the knockout. What's his name?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. What's his name? The dude.
I can't. Marine Corps veteran. I can't think of his name, man.
Coffee.
Yeah.
Coffee. Yeah. He's nice.
I like him.
Yeah, he's nice. I like him, man.
It's Money just said another one, Michael Hunter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
Michael
there's guys down here. There's guys out here that deserve to have a look at them and to watch their journey. Stop just looking for the undefeated guy. Hunter has a loss, but so does Marcus Brown, who's that light heavyweight. I don't want to change the subject, but my point is, we can't get fixated on looking at the guys who just have an O. Let's look at the talent. Let's look at the age. Look at the style that they have, and support their journey. I mean, let's not get stuck on one or two boxers. That's how the divisions, like the heavyweight division, get sunk for years because people only focus on 2 or 3 guys, and then when those 2 or 3 guys leave, they don't know what else to watch, and they have to wait for another guy to come out of the Olympics, as the great Emmanuel Stewart once said.
Okay, so I got a question for y'all, right? and we can bounce around. But this is the question that I have. How do you guys feel about fighters being fast-tracked?
That's a major problem in MMA right now, because you'll have guys that'll be, 9-0, 10-0, and all of a sudden they're in the top 5, and they're fighting a guy who's probably got 40 fights, and they get dominated, and next thing you know, they're not the same, or they'll come back and they'll be stronger than ever. So it's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't, because prime example, they got this guy in the UFC. His name's Khamzat Chimaev. He's from the Ukraine. He's 9-0. Get this, he's 9-0, has 9 pro fights. He's 9-0. and they were gonna put him in the octagon with the number 3 guy in the world on an 8-fight win streak in Leon Edwards. Now, I thought that was a complete bad idea, but it could have worked out for him. So, and another good example of that, there was this kid a couple years ago. His name was Yair Rodriguez. He was at that time, I think, 14-1, had been stopping people, but he was, around I think he was around 15-10 ranked in that weight class. Well, they put him in there with a former champion who had 30-something fights at that time, and Frankie Edgar. Frankie Edgar mauled that kid, beat him up for 5 rounds, and stopped him. And the kid ain't been the same since. So it's damned if you do, damned if you don't, because Chris Weidman only had 12 fights, had like 12 or 13 fights when he knocked out Anderson Silva. So I really don't know the comparison to that in boxing, but I know they do it a lot at MMA, and it's damned if you do, damned if you don't, because the fans want to see this kid fast track because he's stopping everybody under him. But do you put him in there with the number 4 guy in the world who's probably a former champion who's got 30-some fights, and this kid's only had 10 fights?
For sure. Big Reg.
The fast track depends on how fast this fighter is learning. Everybody learns at different levels, but I think it's wrong to fast track some fighters. I think sometimes people play too much into popularity. They're fooled by what a fighter may be doing to lesser level opponents, and seeing these fighters pile up knockouts and then be thinking they're ready. And then I've seen it happen where you see the fast track. The worst fast track I've seen was Fernando Vargas for one. The other one being Antoine.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, Antoine Douglas was another one where his career was destroyed when they tracked him up because he was having great success, looking very electric in fights, stopping cats.
Michael Grant.
Yep, Grant. A lot of these dudes, and people buy into knowing that they're just putting them in against lower opposition, and then you moving them up. Like there's really levels to this game of boxing. A lot of people don't respect it. A lot of these fighters don't, because they look at another fighter as another man. I'm a man too. So they probably feel they're on the same level, but man, in fighting, sometimes it just ain't that. And sometimes it ain't just where you are physically. A younger kid who may be more physically gifted, this and that, versus an older fighter he's going into. But there's certain tricks you can take away for what is an advantage for a younger fighter. An experienced fighter going to learn how to take away from that. Oh, you faster? Okay, I'm going to find these little holes. I'm going to find to where you just come at one tempo. I'm going to find your speed, blah, blah, blah. And it's an easy equation to figure out for more skilled veterans to learning how to fight these young fighters. And you watch young fighters who look like studs coming into the game, who older fighters expose and just explode on inside these rings and ruin some of these dudes by being thrown in lion's den too quick. Another dude was when they put Lubin in there, but that one's hard to tell. I can't put the Lubin in there because it's just one punch. But watching when they put J-Rock in there against Charlo, that was an experience situation, and he exposed J-Rock, who was another young up and coming fighter who was looking to get in the heat of things way too early, and it didn't work out well for him. But there's many other names out there who just weren't ready, but based on promoters finding them, showcase fights and putting them in there. Now fans and got a following behind them. Now we're gonna throw them in there with a real dog, and they get mopped up. But that's my thoughts on that.
AB, and then Centos Boxing. That boy JB sleep. Centos.
JB always high and sleep on here, man.
Nah. That was.
Oh look, there you go. The weed released them.
Nah. Hold on, what we talking about? Man,
Put the joint down, JB.
I ain't gonna lie. Nah, nigga, I'm on the game. I'm playing the game, but
Oh, okay. But I thought you was asleep. Golly.
what y'all talking about, though?
We was talking about shit. Hold on.
Fast
Centos. Go
Let
ahead.
me go.
Fast
Let me
track.
go. Let somebody else go, and then you can listen to what they say.
Yeah,
Right.
let's go
So
ahead.
we keep it flow. Keep the flow going.
As far as that fast tracking, I'm 50-50 on it. You know, if the kid coming into the sport is just tremendously good, I don't have much of a problem with it. But the problem I do have, it seems like it's more of certain groups that they're wanting to fast track versus people that look like me. I'll put it that way. I don't see some of our people, that look like us, being fast tracked as often as what I've been seeing here of late with the other fighters, and they hype them all up and all that kind of stuff. I just think it's another one of those situations where they make a division. I mean, they divide us and make us think. I mean, he was really good. It still is, Lomachenko, but I just think I never seen somebody come from the amateurs. I don't care how long they've been there and get a championship fight right off the bat. I've never seen that, and I didn't think it was cool because I know a lot of fighters that was pretty awesome fighters, man. They should have had that opportunity a long time ago as well. Now it may be their promotion company that didn't put them in that position, or whoever was handling them, or maybe somebody just didn't know it could be done. But at the same time, I just think I think he should have earned his stripes on a professional level, just like the rest of the fighters. That's why I look at that. And then it seemed like when they did him, they started training with more European fighters, and it just didn't sit well with me. So I guess my opinion is a little biased, but that's the way I feel about it. Oh, first of all, before somebody else chime in, I want to apologize for using that N word earlier, man. That ain't normally the way I like to flow, but I got a little excited. So I apologize. I think it was me that had the music in the background. I had it playing very low and then realized it was, being heard, and I wasn't paying any mind to it. I apologize for that too, fellas.
Man, you all good, man. Nigga's my favorite word, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I just think it's cool. I don't have a problem with us using it, but I don't really want to be the person that's saying it out here on the platform for everybody else to hear. You know what I'm saying? Just me. I don't want me to say it. I don't care if anybody else said it. I mean, it don't bother me. You know what I'm saying? But it's just, I said I wasn't going to do that, and I did it. So, but I do want to apologize. That just wasn't what I was planning to say. I got a little excited because I want to go up here to this stop up here and crack this dude's head if he pull that knife out on me again tonight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I guess I just incriminated myself then. But that's my piece, fellas.
Man, hey, you 53. You don't need to be slanging knives. You better get you something long range and keep them extended away from you.
Oh, I got a billy club. I got something for him. I got a.
Hey, that's a billy club. Hey, don't nobody. This is America. Folks fighting with guns. This is the most cowardice nation on the planet.
I can't let him get back to. What I gotta do is make sure he don't get back his truck. Once I get that knife out of his hand, then he's gonna get some of these bees upside his head and a couple of caps. I just gotta get that knife out of his hand.
At 53, you shouldn't be fighting nobody. If someone comes at you, put a bullet in their ass. That's what most older cats end up doing, and they got a right to be doing it.
See, part of my 53 is why I made some mistakes in the past. You see what I'm saying? I can't have one of those. You know what I'm saying? I feel you. That's what he needs. He needs somebody to put some out.
Otherwise, avoid conflict.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. But he talk crazy, man. I ain't gonna. Hey, I got about 5 minutes, and I might see him.
Yo, I want to say
that's why you need to move to Alabama. As long as it's both action, you can have one, felony or not.
Yo, I want to say this real quick.
Right.
Let me say this real quick. Let me tap in real quick. I want to say this. you know, some people made some false allegations saying Evander Holyfield took steroids, but he never did. So whoever made up that rumor, that's a complete lie. I mean, there's no articles proving Holyfield took any type of steroids. There's no paperwork. You feel me? So people be lying all the time, bro.
Okay.
Hey, that's why it's good to fact check and not regurgitate what people put out here on these ways. Because I hear people put out information that be such brutal lies on people.
Man, it's all over YouTube. It's crazy.
Hey, H Money, how do you feel about the fast track system in boxing?
Say that again.
How do you
What's
feel
that?
in fast track to world titles?
I mean, it works for certain people. I mean, we seen it backfire with Adrian Broner. You know what I mean? I felt like they did Adrian Broner kind of dirty right there. You know, they rushed him, you know, to fight Maidana. He wasn't ready for that fight. You know, you gotta know how to work your fighters, man. You gotta know how to matchmake. Matchmaking is very important in boxing. You know what I mean? You got to take care of your fighter, man. You know, at the end of the day, you got to give your fighter the best fight for the best money. That's what it's all about, bro. You know what I mean? Some people are ready. Mike Tyson was ready. Muhammad Ali was ready at a young age. Certain fighters be ready for that moment. You know what I mean?
It don't look like I'm gonna be fighting tonight, fellas.
Good, man. We don't need cases on live. On live.
I wouldn't have started nothing, but I was gonna defend myself. You know what I'm saying? I ain't the type of dude. I want to be. I was trying to get him to hit me first because I figured after he hit me, I was well within my rights to defend myself. You know what I'm saying? But he pulled that knife out, man, and I didn't realize he had that knife out until the last second. But no, I still, when I get mad, I forget my situation, and I just want to defend myself, you know, as a man, not with weapons, but with my hands.
Hey, Cento, how long ago he pulled a knife on you?
2 weeks ago. I came up here last weekend. And he wasn't here then.
So 2 weeks ago, you might as well let that shit go. And if anything come at you again with a knife, you might as well just blast his ass. You might not waste time with people anymore.
Guess what? No, that ain't him. I thought he was pulling in now, but that ain't him. That ain't his truck. No, I'm cool. I ain't gonna start nothing, but I'm gonna show end it though.
I want to debate Reggie Owens on Holyfield, Lennox Lewis real quick. Who had a better career? I would say Holyfield had a better career. You know, yeah, of course. Holyfield was undisputed in 2 different weight classes. You know what I mean? Lennox Lewis. I mean, when you look at Holyfield, got a better resume. Holyfield, he beat Larry Holmes.
Can we do that after we finish this topic, though? I didn't even get my chance to talk about the.
It's cool. Reggie, know what's up. Reggie, I was coming for that smoke. You feel me?
You gonna lay it out there, H-Money?
And I'm gonna smoke
H-Money. H-Money just wanted to lay the gauntlet down. He threw the when they used to do in wrestling, when they put the belt down in the middle of the ring. Like, hold on.
Lennox Lewis was a protected fighter. He was a protected fighter for the most of his career. You know what I'm saying? He was protected.
Right, let's wait with that nonsense.
He was. That's why he waited for Holyfield to get old.
Let Tank go ahead, Tank. Hey, Swing, don't go nowhere.
Because I got to speak up on this. I got to speak on this fast track thing real quick.
Okay, for sure. My bad.
I have a different perspective on it. Right. Reggie made a point. And I think somebody else made the point that it depends on the fighter. Every fighter learns at a different pace. And I forgot who said it, but somebody also said that, you know what I'm saying? They were talking about the MMA, you know, it's a 50-50, you know, when it comes to that. My perspective is this. The fact that a precedent has been set that you fast track certain fighters or that you can fast track a fighter. And for me, fast tracking, it just means giving guys an opportunity at a championship opportunity before their 20th fight. Because if you look at boxing historically, usually they when you bring a fighter from the amateurs to the professional ranks, the first thing you want to do is get them accustomed to fighting more than 3 rounds, more than 4 rounds. and you get them a 6 round, an 8 round, a 10 round fight, right? And then by their between in the process, you want to get them in the ring with different kinds of styles, as many different kind of styles as you can on the pro level. Within 20 fights, because when you're in the amateurs, if you have an extended amateur career, you're gonna face many different styles. But because you're in the amateurs and you're limited to 3 rounds with headgear in many cases, depending on how you fight. It's different at the pro level. Even the scoring system is different at the pro level. The aggressiveness, the physicality is different at the professional level. So you take time to get them at a particular feel accustomed to the professional ranks within that period of time. So by the time they get to 15 to 20, between their 15th and 20th fight, you're preparing them to for a world title shot by getting them those NABF belts and intercontinental belts and international titles, those subtitles that the sanctioning bodies have. And where I see is that they have been giving guys opportunities within that 20 fight range. That's what I call fast tracking. So you got guys like, today I think somebody brought up how they're doing it with certain people. So you got guys like Usyk getting multiple title shots. You got guys like Derevinchenko getting a title shot with only 12 or 13 fights under his belt. Lomachenko, we already know, out the gates, his first fight was like for one of those second and third titles, one of those subtitles, and Teofimo Lopez also, you know what I'm saying, with his 13, 14, 15, 16 fights, he's fighting for multiple titles. And this is the perspective I come from. Because you set the precedent for them, I have an issue with the fact that you guys still claim, not you guys, but y'all know what I mean. There's boxing fans that claim Devin Haney needs to prove himself when he has over 20 fights. Jaron Ennis has to prove himself when he has over 20 fights. That's my issue with the fast tracking, is that you guys are fast tracking these guys like Derevinchenko. Oh, he's ready. But then Jaron Ennis, Boots Ennis, he's not ready for an opportunity. That's disgusts me. Devin Haney is legitimately the WBC world champion. And then when he wants to fight other champions, they're like, oh, he's not ready for that. That's disgusting to me. How is Devin Haney not ready? How is Jaron Ennis not ready? But Derevinchenko was ready. Lomachenko was ready. Usyk was ready. Lopez was ready. That's my issue with the fast track, because there's no consistency there. And then you get the fans to start talking about the inconsistency. You get the fans to start talking about these opportunities because of the inconsistencies of the people that are in charge of the sport. And that's the problem that I have with it. You got guys today saying, and outside of H Money, because H Money's concern is for Deontay Wilder's well-being. That's why I respect his take. And that's why I don't disagree with his take. My only thing is my only thing is Deontay Wilder is going to do what he wants to do at this point in his career. But I totally agree with H Money. You don't want to be in a sport no longer than you need to be. Once you're in the sport for two reasons. You want to make money because it's prize fighting. So you want to you want to get some money for your family. And if you can create generational wealth, you want to do that. And then the second is to win championships. And Deontay Wilder has done both of those things. So I'm with H Money on that. But you have people outside of H Money that are saying right now, Deontay Wilder ain't ready for a Tyson Fury fight. Excuse me, he's already been in the ring with him twice. And if I'm not mistaken, for around 19 rounds. So how does a guy with 40 plus fights, how is he not ready to fight the guy who he's just fought? How is Devin Haney not ready for these multiple title shots when he's had more fights than the people he's asking to fight against in most cases? How is Jaron Ennis not ready for a title shot? And more power to him that he's getting this IBO welterweight title shot against Olympians. But how are people saying that he's not ready for the Ugases of the world, or the Terrence Crawfords, or the upper echelon guys, when you got guys like Derevchenko getting title shots versus Danny Jacobs with his 13th fight? That's my issue with the fast tracking. It's not necessarily the guys that are getting the opportunity, but the fact that once the precedent has been set, you're making excuses while other guys are not. And I'm talking about the mainstream media, because those are the ones that get on there and be like, well, Devin Haney needs to do more, or maybe Devin Haney needs to fight this guy. That's coming from the pundits that are calling the fights in the arena. And I'm not just talking about fans talking about the fights. I'm talking about the guys in the arena. Well, maybe Jaron Ennis needs to do more. Maybe he can fight this guy. I don't think he's ready for that guy and ready for that guy. That's my disgust with that whole fast tracking issue.
That's facts. That's straight facts. And I agree.
Preach.
I agree with everything you said, bro. My take on the fast track, and then we're gonna do our last words and get out of here. My thing on the fast track is, I think it just depends on the fighter. When the fighter is ready, man. You could look at a fighter, you could tell, man, that they head and shoulders above the competition. Like, for instance, Shakur Stevenson. You know what I'm saying? You just know he's special. You know what I'm saying? And you put him in there with Oscar Valdez, and I think he's gonna torch Oscar Valdez. I think his defense is too good for Oscar Valdez. I think he's too good to be beat by Oscar Valdez. I think that losing in the Olympics made him a great fighter. You know what I'm saying? I think that really humbled him, and then he knows he can't take no days off anymore. And so yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for Shakur Stevenson to step in some more of the fast track lanes. So I get what y'all saying, man, but a lot of them dudes, man, they take their amateur records. I don't understand that part. Where you take somebody's amateur records and then you say, oh, since he had this many amateur fights, he should be ready. It's like, no. You know what I'm saying? Let him get some pro fights in. But, like y'all say, sometimes it worked out, and sometimes it didn't. It's like drafting a player in the first round in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you hit, sometimes you don't. But that's it for us as far as the conversation. We'll give our last words in the words of the great philosopher, Sir Reggie Owens. We're going to start with DJ. We'll go with JB, Tank, and then we'll end it off with Reggie Owens. Real quick, Courtney Jones, salute to you. Oh, man, we don't even know who that is. All right. But shout out to you. P. Good.
That's Mikey Garcia's brother. The trainer, Peter Garcia.
Yeah, Robert Garcia's son.
Oh, man. Who gets fucked? Go get beat by Earl Spence again.
I'm sorry. I meant to say his nephew. My bad. You're right.
Yeah, man. Back here about these clowns. All right, but DJ, man, give me your final words.
Another great show, fellas. I'm a fan of the show, fan of all you guys. Just another good, productive night of good conversation, man. Good talk, good sports debate. Dang, my guy H Money left, man. I had another question for him, but it's okay. You guys can reach me on Twitter at D's2189. And I just sit back and keep listening, guys. Enjoy the show. Enjoy being on the show. Thanks for having me on.
So, JB.
Man, I had to log in with my guy Kyle tonight, man. Salute Reggie on the panel. Tank, we got DJ, H Money hopped on. You know what I'm saying? That's it. I'm out.
For sure. Big Tank.
Yes, sir. Always respect to the panel. Man, I love cooking with y'all fellas. I love getting on, talking boxing, talking anything else that we can come up with. Keep talking that intelligent talk, and showing the people how it's done when they watch us on the replay. The up and coming people. salute to my brother Kyle, the boxing section on his platform. May it continue to grow. Uh, may I be in a position to continue to contribute when I can. I can't jump on all the time, but when I do, I want to be able to contribute because I really do love what the brother's doing, and I respect everybody that's on the platform, that's been on the platform so far when I've been on there. And you know what I'm saying? Let's everybody keep supporting each other as we've been doing, and follow each other on our different journeys through this thing, man. Because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, if we're not supporting each other, how can we expect anybody else to support us? You know what I'm saying? So, and with that being said, you can find me at the Sweet Science Examiner on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. You know what I mean? Just Google me, man. As in the words, let me steal my brother Kyle stuff real quick. In the words of the great poet O'Shea Jackson, Ice Cube, just Google me, bitch.
Sir Reggie Owens.
Oh man, another good show, man. Salute to all the brothers on here cooking, man, making this a great show. Everybody up in the chat. See my brother DB, Yova, got a few new folks. Courtney Jones, I don't remember seeing on here. Robert Brown, man, a bunch of folks. Cento Box was on it. My brother Tank H Money coming in with the craziness about Holyfield better than Lennox when Lennox done beat him twice. My brother DJ and my brother Cal and JB, man. Salute to everybody, man. Another great talk, man. But Lennox, the greatest of all time in my book. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah. Hey, man, once again, man, I appreciate y'all brothers for showing me so much love, man. Staying up with me all night. Man, we had a good 23 people in here. But what I've learned about YouTube is they be on some bullshit, because I got my TV playing, and then I have my other phone when I logged into my other YouTube just to see how they be doing. They ain't giving the true numbers. So we had a lot more people in here than what they saying. So I just appreciate y'all for coming through. And again, man, like I said on Barbershop Conversations, man, we have done a great job of building a support system where everybody gets ahead. I want to thank Reg again, man. Every time we got a lot of people in here, I always want to make sure that I tell people, man, if it wasn't for Reg, I wouldn't even be on this slot. You know what I'm saying? This is originally Reg's slot. He said, yo, you can have it. Just do what you do, man, and get your subscribers up. So I was like, hey, man, appreciate you. And Tank, man, always coming through, always showing love, man. Make sure y'all stay tuned for his movie YouTube. It's going to be great, man. If y'all been in here before and y'all heard him talk about movies, you guys understand that this page is going to be amazing. DJ, man, appreciate you for coming on, being at work, man, and still messing with us. Man, I appreciate you for sure. And like I always say, man, our foot on these niggas' necks at all times. We're gonna keep getting better. We're gonna keep working. Keep trying to push out great content. Shout out to my dog DB, of course, for always coming through, man, and working the chat. And again, man, another one like the other one. Same soup is reheated. RIP to my cousin Lil E. For all the sayings, man. Shout out to Barbershop Conversations, man, for allowing us to come together and meet each other and branch out and be great, man. I really appreciate y'all for coming through. And again, man, we back at it tomorrow. I might go live twice tomorrow. Sometimes I'll be having interviews. I'm getting back into the interview game where I'm getting interviews. So stay tuned for that, man. Hit that bell icon. You know what I'm saying? Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, but make sure you hit that bell icon so you know exactly when we're going live and when we got new content, man. And I appreciate y'all, man. And again, let me read these names off, man. Just, you know what I'm saying? Let me do a DB. J.A. Dixon, G Trey, highly anticipated, Jalen, Rob Brown, Taylor Bell, DB, of course, SF City Slicker, YV. Let me see who else we got. Cam, Tino the Great. Let's see, Matrix R for sure came through. P Good, I need your Instagram, bro. If you still in here, I need your Instagram or somewhere, bro, because I need your help with what we talked about on Fred's Live. Who else we got in here, man? And I thought we had more names in this. I must have missed them. But Courtney Jones, man, appreciate you for coming through. Shout out to everybody that came through in the chat, man. And again, man, I appreciate y'all staying up with us again. And I will see y'all tomorrow, man. All right, y'all. We have a good one. Y'all have a good night. And I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Salute.
Peace.